proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Hart, Jack Ruland in SACAM 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carl through sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Karen Hart has the night off. Good evening, I'm Nolan Johannes. Is the government ducking its 21-year responsibility to pay some medical bills for the elderly and the disabled? Some people who treat those medical care people, Medicare patients, in the home are accusing the government, and the patients can be left wondering that if they could stop care ordered by a doctor because they can't afford it. That is what Newswatch 16's Dr. Steve Greenberg has uncovered, and tonight, part one of a Health Watch 16 investigation. Does Medicare care? A home nursing nightmare.
How are you feeling?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
72-year-old John Karnitsky of Luzerne had surgery in January. In early February, when he came home from the hospital, Karnitsky's surgeon ordered visiting nurses to change the bandage and check the wound twice a day. Medicare did not pay the visiting nurse agency for 13 of the first 30 visits.
For every additional patient I take on, I take the risk of an additional visit denial.
Denial means not getting paid by Medicare for home care. Marion Kearns of Kingston has been in the visiting nurse business for 27 years. She's a former president of the Pennsylvania Association of Home Health Agencies. Kearns says her agency hasn't been paid on about 1,500 claims in the last year and a half. In the 20 years before that, only 3 claims were rejected.
In a few months, you might not have as many agencies in the community available to give services. And then what's going to happen?
Blue Cross of Philadelphia handles the government's Medicare payments in Pennsylvania. Blue Cross admits getting more complaints than ever before, but blames home health agencies.
They're trying to get the claims in faster than they ever have to get cash flow, and they're making errors in doing that.
You've got a nurse in Philadelphia sitting in an office who's looking at a piece of paper. This nurse has never seen this patient. All she knows about this patient is what's on that piece of paper. And that nurse is saying that that patient has too many visits. I think that is ridiculous. How can that nurse make that judgment?
The nurse does have the opportunity, if she feels that there is not enough information on that form to make a accurate determination as to whether to cover it or not, to request additional information, which would be the full medical record.
If you ever go down there and meet with the patient, has that ever happened?
We know she does not do that on a routine basis.
In fact, she's never done it. A spokesman at Medicare's regional office confirms Blue Cross is rejecting some claims, and it can be months before others are paid, but insists there's nothing wrong with the system. Medicare wants to pay all medically necessary benefits.
We are meeting all performance levels that the government has established. In fact, we're exceeding all those levels.
I'm sure that the agencies in all parts of Pennsylvania are having the same kind of problem. This is not just a local problem. This is a statewide problem and a national problem.
How big is this problem? Is anybody here really going out of business? Well, I'll have that story tomorrow night in part 2 of Does Medicare Care? A Home Nursing Nightmare. I'm Dr. Steve Greenberg, Health Watch 16. Nolan?
Thank you, Steve. When Newswatch 16 continues, will Wilkes-Barre get tough on kids who ride skateboards? Plus, a veteran of the Wayne County Fair looks back at some good times later on the Pennsylvania Road.
Now, the fullest, thickest, fluffiest softness of any fabric softener. Introducing New Downy, the most softness ever.
I think it's funny stuff.
This is softness so fluffy you can see the difference. Downy tells fluff higher. New Downy softens fast.
Fluffy.
New Downy, the fullest, thickest, fluffiest softness ever.
Much soft.
It's so fresh. The fluffiest softness of any fabric softener. New, brand new Downy. Here's what makes John's real Italian restaurant so good.
Ravioli, manicotti, ravioli, rigatoni, tagliatelle, minestrone, calamari, cacciatori, parmigiana, scallopini, orecchini, rossolini, lasciati, fettuccine,
John's restaurant makes everything to order, and the portions are so big. John's restaurant, with 590 Hamlin at John's brand new location, Route 507 Greentown, is now open with a full menu, including breakfast.
Wilkes-Barre City Council is expected to get tough tonight with skateboarding on public square. Councilmen and police officers say that they have been bombarded with complaints about the popular pastime on the square. City officials are also worried about someone being injured with skateboarding there. The proposed law, which is expected to pass tonight, would bar the practice. First offenders would face a $25 fine and 90 days in jail. If the skateboarding ban passes tonight, the law would go into effect 30 days after it is signed by Mayor McLaughlin. The Station Hotel Restaurant Complex in Wilkes-Barre has new management, but it won't have new owners. The remodeled railroad station is owned by Wilkes-Barre businessman Marvin Roth. Guild Hotel Management Company of Nebraska is now managing the hotel restaurant complex. The station had been up for sale, but Roth told Newswatch 16 this afternoon those talks have ended and the sale is off. Instead, Roth says he and Guild are developing a plan to move ahead with the station complex, including opening a 50s-style diner in about 2 weeks. And the Weather Watch is next with our chief meteorologist, Tom Clark. Tom?
Yes, Nolan, how you doing?
Great.
Good. We had a struggle between the sun and the clouds for a while this morning.
I was expecting more sun earlier today than we sort of
First thing he reminded me about when I came into work today, the lack of sun this morning. Okay. Then when we come back, we'll talk about how much more sun we're going to have and our next chance of rain. Now, you're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP TV, and we're proud to serve Paradise Valley and all of Monroe County.
The name means superior quality and fit. And in Northeast Pennsylvania, Keeper's Jeans and More is your Lee store connection, offering you all the sizes and colors in Lee Tough Riders, corduroys, jean jackets, and shirts. Plus, Keeper's offers you pre-washed and acid-washed jeans. Keeper's gives you what you demand in a jean store and more. So stop down and visit Keeper's and get your Lee's today. That's Keeper's Jeans and More, your Lee store.
But the world's on fire, so more you have to go. Put the heat on, the seat and watch the station sound is low, turn it on.
The heat is on at your Lincoln Mercury Mercure dealer. Now get a red-hot deal on Mercury Sable with low interest rate financing. Or look into the hot shape of Mercury Cougar with great selection and red-hot deals. Stop in today and drive to the shore in style this summer.
Turn it on and on and on and on, turn the heat on.
The heat is on now at your Lincoln Mercury Mercure dealer.
Well, all the meteorologists, even those from out of town, were saying we'd see sun this morning, but Tom has the explanation of exactly why we didn't see it today. Tom?
Well, Nolan, we had a little shallow layer of moist, foggy air at sunrise today, and after sunrise it lifted to form a stubborn deck of stratus clouds. But they have dissipated. It's beautiful out back tonight, just some cirrus clouds drifting by. And let's begin in Carbon County, where my weather watcher, Joe Mitros, in Neckysville tells me 72. Not much wind, though. Ray Smith in Belleville, Mifflin County, checks in with a warm 86. And some hazy sun out there. And John Rose from Hickory Grove in Susquehanna County tells me 68 degrees now. Next, a view today from Monroe County of a beautiful waterfall along Broadhead Creek in Southburg. Cool and refreshing. 74 out back now. The humidity is just a bit high, 57%. The wind from the north at 5 miles per hour. The barometer falling from 30.04. The high temp here today, 78 degrees in our backyard, 56 this morning. I had a 51 at my place in the mountains at dawn today. 96 and 46 are the records for this day. Now, all this week, as we check Skywatch 16's Doppler radar, it's been dry so far this week and nothing showing again tonight. But again all this week, the Earth has been passing through the orbit of an old disintegrating comet. And all along that orbit, there are tiny bits of debris that have come off the comet, which enter the Earth's atmosphere and burn up, producing streaks of light, or meteors. And that's what we're having this week, the Perseid meteor shower. And the peak of the shower is tonight and again tomorrow night. You should be able to see upwards to 20 or 30 meteors per hour. The best time to look is after midnight, because then the Earth is moving towards the meteors and not away from them. But a problem this time of year, this year, is the moonlight, bright moonlight after midnight, so you probably won't be able to see as many. But we do have a couple of storms to talk about down off the Carolina coast and along the Gulf Coast. Some heavy rainfall amounts, 5 inches of rain at the Marine Corps Air Station at Terry Point, North Carolina today, and close to 3 inches at Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But these storms will not be affecting us. Upper air winds will allow this Canadian high to hold its ground over the state for the next few days. It looks kind of nice. A nice night tonight, cool and comfortable for sleeping. Some valley fog here and there tomorrow morning. Paradise Valley about 50. And Browndale, east of Forest City, about 60 or 50 below tonight. Winfield, 55 to about 49 in La Porte overnight. The wind will be out of the east, but it will be light. Here's the sunrise time for tomorrow morning, 6:09, and the sun sets at 8:07. Tonight, mostly clear, good for stargazing, but some moonlight after midnight, some patchy fog. Sunshine tomorrow, 79 degrees. And it looks dry through Thursday and Friday and Saturday, but there will be a warming trend as we go back into the middle 80s this weekend. Next chance of rain, Nolan, may not come until Wednesday of next week.
All right, we'll have to get out before the moon comes out to watch it.
Out the garden hose.
Yeah, right. Okay. See you, Tom. Tim Carlson is next with the Sports Watch tonight. Highlights of one area team in the Little League State Playoffs. Plus, part 2 of our series from the Philadelphia Eagles training camp.
The good old days of bowling are back at these northeastern Pennsylvania bowling fun centers. Bowl for just 50 cents a game this Saturday and Sunday. 50 cents a game at Cattlebrook Lanes in Tunkhannock, Colonial Lanes, Nanticoke, Stanton Lanes, Wilkes-Barre, Valley Lanes, Carbondale, Modern Lanes, Exeter, Wallenpaupack Lanes in Holly, Back Mountain Lanes, Dallas, Greenridge, Southside, and Idaho Lanes in Scranton. Imagine, bring back the fun of bowling for just 50 cents a game. The sport of the '88 Olympics. Plus 50-cent hot dogs and sodas this weekend.
I followed this man home from a nearby pizza place. Are those pizzas for your family?
Yes.
To eat? It was on the way. They'd rather have skimpy bargain pizza than a fresh, hot Pizza Hut pan pizza to go?
Probably not.
They prefer Pizza Hut, and you're walking in with that? Think of the children, man. Okay, folks, just go home and think about what almost happened here. I'm Rich Hall.
Well, how are those Little League kids doing from our area, Jim?
So far,
So good.
All right.
All right. 2 Little League teams from this area playing today in the state championship tournament. Just underway a few minutes ago at Lehigh Little League Field in Bethlehem. Montoursville from Lycoming County taking on Hermitage from the western part of the state. Highlights from the score tonight on the update. Earlier this afternoon, Carbino Club from Lackawanna County played Council Rock, and we have some highlights from the game. Bottom of the third, 2-0. Council Rock is in the lead. Watch Carbino's Russ Canaveri. And there it goes. It's a 2-run homer to tie it at 2-2. Next inning, Little John Wergo at the plate. Maybe the smallest guy on the team gets the big base hit and scores Sam Pajinski, and Carbino leads 3-2. Next batter, Ryan Coleman, and there it goes. That puts the game away. The 3-run homer makes it 6-2 Carbino. They hold on to win it over Council Rock 6-4. Carbino will play the winner of Montoursville Hermitage game tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Well, Philly fans can breathe a sigh of relief. Kevin Gross can't pitch for 10 days. He was suspended today by the National League President Bart Giamatti for having a foreign substance in his glove. And as the title of the classic movie says, it happened last night. In the 5th inning, Phil's Gross up 4-2 over the Cubs at the vet. Cubs manager Gene Michael asked the umps to check the ball for scuffs and then check Gross's glove. Crew chief John Kibler apparently found sandpaper or an emery board glued to the glove, and Gross gets tossed out of the game. And the glove and the ball are sent to the NL Prez office. Gross's 10-day suspension starts immediately, but he can appeal. Gross joins Minnesota pitcher Joe Niekro on the 10-day suspended list. Niekro caught a week ago with an emery board and sandpaper on his person. I don't think the Phils will miss Kevin Gross. Now, for more on the Philadelphia Eagles training camp at West Chester University. Yesterday, we saw Randall Cunningham and Matt Cavanaugh fighting it out for the quarterback spot. Today, Sports Watch 15's Tom Tidy gives us a look at what's up for the rest of the Birds offense.
The 1987 Eagles offense will rely heavily on the running game. That's not good news, especially when their leading rusher, Keith Byers, can only watch practice while he nurses another broken foot. Michael Haddocks, along with Junior Sadalatasi and Anthony Toney, will have to pick up the slack and take some pressure off Randall Cunningham, who was the team's second leading rusher in 1986.
Randall, he's quick, and he really pulls the defense a lot. You know, he has real quick little moves, plus he's fast. So, you know, he had a really good average per carry, too. So, you know, the running backs are kind of saying, well, man, Randall rushed for 100 yards when we're going to get mine. So we're all working to get our 100-yard games and to get a good average per carry.
We need to get the running game going because they work hand in hand. If you can run the ball, you can pass. If you can pass, you can run. So our passing game should open up our running game this year. If the passing game opens up, then Mike Quick is the man to look for. Since he is holding out, Kenny Jackson is getting plenty of attention, along with one of the league's best tight ends, John Spagnola. Since this is training camp, Eagle quarterbacks don't have to worry too much about blitzing linebackers and rushing linemen. But last year was a different story. The Eagles' offensive line gave up 104 sacks, 30 more than the previous NFL record.
We've got a better ability this year, even on day one, to communicate with one another outside the verbal communication. In other words, we've got a good sense of anticipation. We've also got a lot of confidence in one another as a group.
The Eagles' offense this season will only be as good as the offensive line permits. If it is anything like last year's performance, then Philadelphia could be in for a long season. Tom Tidy, Sports Watch 16 at the Eagles training camp at Westchester University.
And, of course, Tom will have more from Westchester tomorrow night right here on the Sports Watch. And tonight, at 11 o'clock, I'm going to be here, and I'm going to do the Sports Watch with an emery board in my pocket. Is that okay?
Oh, shame on you. Okay. The men in blue will be with you. When Newswatch 16 continues, we'll follow the Pennsylvania road to the Wayne County Fair. Tonight, a look at the fair today and the way it was in the old days.
Franklin family restaurants believe that one delicious turn deserves another. So for a limited time, when you order any Franklin's dinner with soup and salad bar, you'll get a slice of strawberry pie or ice cream cake free. Just think, your choice of any freshly prepared meal plus our soup and salad bar, and just when you think it's over, you get a cool slice of strawberry pie or ice cream cake absolutely free. Come on in, because at Franklin's, one delicious turn deserves another. You're gonna love it.
For the great taste of fresh quality fruits and vegetables, pick the best. Pick table fresh. And keep the savings flowing with pure premium Tropicana orange juice. 64-ounce container, $1.79. Or clean up with pure liquid detergent. 96-ounce container, $4.99. And satisfy your thirst with high C fruit drink. 46-ounce can, 69 cents.
Finally tonight, summertime is fair time in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Our Mike Stevens pulled off the Pennsylvania Road in Wayne County for a visit at one of the state's oldest.
125 years after it began, the Wayne County Fair is going for another run. All kinds of modern stuff here today, rides and all. But so is the old-fashioned purpose of a fair such as this. George Schroeder out in the Poultry Building has been coming here for over 60 years. He'll tell you the reason for this fair.
This is what the fairs are for, is to show your produce, your animal, and see who could breed the superior animal or the best produce, corn or whatever you want to go. Yeah, these competitions.
But there's been a lot of other things added since George first walked into this place. The boy, age 11. He still remembers what it was like then.
It was like going to the circus for the first time. It was marvelous. The first time, you never saw anything like this before.
He remembers, too, the shows that played center field in the daytime. Farmers who came back then had chores to do in the evening. Besides, there wasn't any electricity.
That was wonderful entertainment. In between horse races, we had high wire acts, animal acts. We always had a band here. Something going on all the time.
62 years later, the infield act has changed. Electricity runs through the place, so folks stay later at night. George thinks it's better today, more to see and do. He says the Wayne County Fair is the kind of thing that draws him back every year.
I've been coming for over 60 years now, so I'll probably come as long as I live. You're going to keep coming. It's in your blood. You just love it.
I'm Mike Stevens, Newswatch 16, on the Pennsylvania Road in Honesdale.
And, of course, there are fairs in all of our pasts, and so we hope you'll have a chance to enjoy your fair this year. That's Newswatch 16 for Tuesday. Be sure to join us tonight on Newswatch 16 Update at 11, when we'll be telling you why a town around here may not be living up to its name. World News Tonight is next for the team, including Karen, who has this night off. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your evening.